distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is a great day by all standards. And I bring you greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He would have loved to be here himself, but he's not in the country, so I am here in his stead. The agenda of the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is clear. We want to transform and modernize Ghana. We want to build a Ghana beyond aid. Now, if you're going to build a Ghana beyond aid, or you want to transform and modernize Ghana, then you have to be globally competitive. As a country, we have to be globally competitive. To be globally competitive, one of the areas that we always look at is infrastructure. But infrastructure, there are two broad types of infrastructure. You have the physical infrastructure and the soft infrastructure. The physical infrastructure, you sort of see your roads, your houses, and your railways, and so on. The soft infrastructure is, however, just as important, even if not more important. Because with the soft infrastructure in a country, if you don't have it, you can try and get by. Nobody will force you to put in place soft infrastructure. For example, nobody will force you to put in place a national ID system. We've been having so many IMF and World Bank programs over the years. Have you ever heard that they have made it a condition that we have an address system, or have a national ID system, or have a building code? If you are playing in the global game and you decide that as for the soft infrastructure is not your cup of tea, then you are going to be uncompetitive, because you are competing with countries that have that soft infrastructure in place. The soft infrastructure is what I call the unwritten rules of the game. That we are playing a globally competitive game. There are some rules that have to be written, and we all know about them. You know, manage your economy, bring down your deficits, grow, and so on. Invest in your education and so on. But there are some rules that are unwritten. And a lot of these unwritten rules of the game is what we have not put in place in Ghana since independence. We haven't. For 61 years, a lot of this soft infrastructure, which are very, very critical to the competitiveness of any economy, have not been put in place. And so you see that since Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came into office, we have been seriously putting together these pieces of soft infrastructure that will be key to driving the growth and modernization and transformation of Ghana. And so today, we see that a key aspect of the lack of formalization in our economy is that we have been operating without a comprehensive building code since independence. Basically, it has been a free-for-all in the building and construction industry. But today is a very significant day in the annals of the history of the country. For the first time, through the collaborative efforts of different agencies and under the leadership of the Ministry of Works and Housing, a comprehensive building code for Ghana is being launched. The Ghana Building Code, GS 1207 of 2018, is a document that is long overdue, but which has finally been delivered. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, the development of any standard or code involves a lot of effort from different stakeholders, and I would like to thank them all. Particular thanks are due to the following for both providing financial and technical resources to ensure that this building code sees the light of day. First of all, we would like to thank the Ghana Building Code Technical Committee, which has built a lot on the work of the CSIR. The Ministry of Works and Housing, the Ghana Institute of Engineers, Surveyors, and Institute of Architects, the Building and Road Research Institute of CSIR, as I said, the Ghana Standards Authority. But I would like in particular to praise the hard work of the BRRI for coming up with the first portions of the Ghana Building Code as far back as 1988. 1988. The Ghana Building Code was put together by the Building and Road Research Institute in 1988 and has been reviewed by all stakeholders and is now ready for implementation and adoption of the required standards. I am told you have a lot of other good work which is sitting on your shelves, so I'll be paying you a visit soon, and we will see how to bring them out. Building codes are critically important in all countries. They specify the requirements needed for all aspects of building construction. They also ensure value for money by providing a yardstick against which all construction-related procurement can be measured. In this regard, I would like to emphasize that the Ghana Building Code being launched today should be a game changer as far as ensuring value for money in public construction in Ghana is concerned. To guarantee the quality and durability of materials used in construction, buildings, schools, roads, hospitals, and all types of public construction works must use materials that are in line with the standards specified in the Ghana Building Code. Once specifications for building in accordance with the standards specified in the Ghana Building Code and construction materials utilized as specified in the code, it should be possible to have fairly accurate uniform costs for all types of construction in the country. This is definitely expected to help us in achieving value for money. Sometimes you will see a school building and they'll tell you 480,000 Ghana cedis. Another one, the same school, 6-classroom block with 740 Ghana cedis. So you don't know what building materials were used in one vis-a-vis the other. But if the codes are specified and we know that this is the design for a 6-classroom block and these are the specifications and materials, we can get to the costing very, very quickly. The Ghana Building Code will make Ghana safer, and safety is very important. With the launching of the code and the passing of the necessary legislation, we can provide relief to the people of Ghana from collapsing buildings, as well as assuring the safety of private, public, and industrial buildings. And I know that the legislation under the leadership of the Honorable Atachia, who is a lawyer of no mean repute, we will get the LI in Parliament very quickly so that this is given the effect that it's supposed to be given legally. Our building construction industry needs to be regulated in a manner that will ensure that public safety is guaranteed. We cannot continue to look unconcerned when structures in the industry are put up without paying attention to the required rules and regulations. As the years go by and the building industry becomes characterized by complex constructions, it is important that necessary regulations are put in place and enforced to ensure sanity and bring about progress. Ladies and gentlemen, The Ghana Building Code, which we are about to launch, covers all essential areas necessary for the smooth and safe operation in the industry. The 38-part document covers areas such as occupancy classification and use, special detailed requirements based on occupancy and use, site development and land use, general building heights, types of construction, fire and smoke protection, interior finishes, energy efficiency and sustainability, soils and foundations, electrical systems and allied installations, plumbing systems, lift and conveying systems, safeguards during construction, green building requirements, and so on. The code has set out requirements and recommendations for efficiency standards for residential and non-residential buildings. The code covers planning, management, and practices in the construction of buildings. The proposed construction methods need to be carefully evaluated at the planning stage to ensure ease of construction. With our joint efforts, we expect that issues of controlled development and flouting of planning laws and building regulations should be curbed. The building code will help to achieve governmental and societal goals relating to health, safety, accessibility of structures. In addition, other social goals can be achieved through this code. The social goals include energy efficiency, minimization of greenhouse gases, as well as sustainability in the building industry. Building codes and standards are greatly strengthened through suggestions and critiques from all stakeholders. This process of putting this building code together took a little longer, but it has protected the integrity of the code development process and resulted in codes and standards that are the envy of the world for their accuracy, completeness, and adherence to public health and safety. The Ministry of Works and Housing and all stakeholders are pleased to develop and have the National Building Code with a standard procedure manual to guide it, gazetted. The infrastructural needs of our country are many, and all who have a stake and those in whose diverse skills are much needed for the building of infrastructure and industries to shape the country's economy also have the duty to provide our citizenry with good road and rail networks, reliable power, water supply, telecommunications, to mention a few. All institutions represented here will be key players in the implementation of this policy and its subsequent alignment and review of the existing LI 1630 of the building regulations. The building code is thus a document which has arrived at the right time in Ghana, following government's recent forum on value for money and the efforts which have been made to provide standards for construction of roads, hospitals, schools, as well as effective process and financial public construction of projects, financial management in the public construction of projects. With this key tool, we can be certain that the investments we are making in areas such as factories, warehouses, industrial parks, and so on will be worthwhile investments which will stand the test of time. We will therefore ensure widespread dissemination and availability of the building code throughout the country. It is no good putting this fine document together if it is not available widely throughout the country. All district assemblies will be provided with copies. We will also ensure that all training institutions, including the technical universities, get copies of the code for training and education. In consultation with the Ghana Standards Authority and other stakeholders, We will also make the Ghana Building Code easily and freely accessible online. So it's important. We want compliance. So everybody must have access to it. And so I know this will hit you in the pocket a bit. And well, we can talk about that later on. We'll find a way to let them make some money. But the economy will be better off if everybody gets it for free. But hard copies will be available at the Ghana Standards Authority, and you can buy those ones. But if you want the free one, you go online. Mr. Chairman, Honorable Ministers of State, I would like to particularly thank the Honorable Minister for Works and Housing for his leadership. These things happen because people get up and make them happen. And he got up when he came into office and said, this building code has to be put together. And today, we are seeing the benefit of his leadership and his vision. And we should all work together. I really want to thank all our technocrats. This technical committee, Engineer Tipo and his friends, who have put together this building code. It tells us that we have the capacity if we put our minds to it. We can do it. It's not complicated. These are really solid professionals who came together to do a national service. They keep emphasizing they were not paid, and we agree. But we thank you very much for, for your efforts, and we will have to remember you very, very well. I mean, but they've done a national service, and we should thank them. We should thank them. I would like to thank Professor Dodu and also Dr. Champo, the chairman and the director general of the Ghana Standards Authority. They have also taken this and coordinated it and pushed it till we are here today. These are real patriots that we speak about in Ghana. So we are most grateful for all that you have done to deliver a building code for Ghana. On behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the entire government, it is my greatest pleasure to declare the Ghana Building Code GS 1207 duly launched. Thank you. Thank you very much, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. Amen.